And I don't know, Tony, you've seen them, Russ, you've seen them. We get people that we come in contact with who are AMSOIL dealers, and they're going, well, I don't know who my sponsor is, and I don't know what I'm doing. Can you take me under your wing and help me develop this business, right? And the problem with that is we're not set up that way. To coach somebody to be a successful AMSOIL dealer that is not in your group, it's a human thing to do, but from a business standpoint, it's not very smart because you just don't have time for it. You got to spend time with the people in your group that are trying to, do a business. So my advice on that is when we run into those kind of things as you guys go along, is you just tell the person, well, look, you need to call AMSOIL and find out who your sponsor is. You need to get in touch with them and tell them that you need some help. Okay? Because one of the sad things is that people don't realize in these multi-level marketing businesses is sometimes who you originally get hooked up with, you're going to be stuck there for a long time. So if you don't do any, as they would say, due diligence to find out if the person that's signing you up, either he or his upline is in a position to give you help, then I've seen it over and over and over. People just left out there because there are people in the business that we refer to as headhunters. And what that means is they just sign people up, as many as they can get. And they figure it's kind of like throwing spit wads at the wall. Sooner or later, one's going to stick. And they don't have time to train them. They don't have time to mess with them. They just sign them up, get them in the system under them, and figures out of all these numbers, somebody somewhere is going to do something. And some of those guys are successful at that because you're always going to sign up some people who will just do it on their own despite all odds. So some of that's going to happen. But mentoring and coaching is trying to tell people to the best of your ability things that you think would help and might not help, and to explain to them exactly how AMSOIL works and the rules so they don't get off in places that are not going to be successful. The other part about that is, though, is that remember and keep this in mind, this is a business that is personalized. And what I mean by that is that there are AMSOIL dealers, John, you saw plenty of them in up there at the university, who do this business in ways that I would never do it. And you know what? They're very successful. So what that means is that you do have the ability to personalize this thing to make it work the way you want to. There's guys that don't have, some big AMSOIL dealers that do not have a single retail or commercial account. They've never wanted one. What's his name? From Maine. If Judy was here, she'd help me remember his name. But we were sitting at a table with him one night and talking about stuff at one of the conventions, and he just says, well, I had 3 of those accounts, but I gave them away. I have no use for that stuff. Because he's a total multi-level marketing mindset. And he's a large dealer. There are other dealers that have no dealers. They have nothing but accounts. Because to them, having to deal with dealers and trying to teach them the business, that's just, can't stand such an idea. I just go to a store and sign up somebody there. It's typical marketing and let them sell it. So what I'm saying is that none of these business models are right or wrong. What works and what fits one personality. The guy I bought a business from years ago, Steve Kelly. Steve was really a pretty good guy, but Steve wasn't really a people person. Steve was a manager, a professional. He understood things technically, but he had little patience for people. And that's just the way he was. So he tended to build a lot of stuff, and then he ended up with some dealers. He signed up Tony. Tony was the store owner first, So, and then he signed up me, but we were in the Navy together. Steve was one of those, what we would call in the Navy, the type A totalitarian leader. It's my way or the highway. We're going to do it one way. So he enjoyed seniority in the Navy. It gave him a position to be totally totalitarian. But anyway, so that's just a thing to remember when we talk about coaching or mentoring or businesses, is that yes, it's important that people understand and that we can teach them something about how we do it. But that's not the only way to do it. There's other business models and practices that you can do.